and welcome back to my channel. I am so glad you are here. If you are new, be sure to hit the subscribe button because I would love to have you, and make sure to turn that notification bell on. That way you know every time I post a new video, which will be every week. Today I will be doing an extreme kitchen clean with me. So we will be doing dishes, wiping down the counters, appliances, pretty much everything in here to get it looking nice and clean again. It is pretty much a disaster right now because of the snowstorm we had. No water / boil water notice. I think my kitchen is definitely the heart of my house, and if it's dirty, then everything else will be. So we are going to knock out those dirty dishes, clean off those countertops, get some deep cleaning done, and have a fresh, beautiful kitchen afterwards. Let's get started. Alright, so we're starting off by tidying up our countertops. I'm putting things back in their places and putting dishes in the sink. Trash is getting thrown away so I can get the countertop wiped down. So I'm going to go ahead and take the trash out because it's getting really full, and for whatever reason it gets really blurry here. I have no idea why, but please excuse that. I know I've mentioned in previous videos how excited I am about moving, but this is just another one of those things that I can't wait to have, and that is a trash can in our garage so I don't have to walk all the way out here just to throw a bag of trash away. I know that seems small, but I don't know, it's just one of those things like I'm excited about. Okay, also fun fact I learned on TikTok, apparently your trash bags come inside out when they are on the roll, so when you take them off you actually have to flip them inside out, and that is the correct way to use them on the trash can. The seam should always be on the inside and not the outside. I may be the only one, but that's what I learned the other day. Alright, and now we're moving over to the other countertops and getting those cleaned off. So as you can tell, I'm moving all the dishes over, throwing away trash, and all that. So I'm going to go ahead and wipe down my island, and you'll notice here in a little bit I do things kind of out of order. So I don't wipe down all the counters at one time. I start with my island because I will unload my dishwasher in a little bit, and I only like unloading it if my countertop is clean. So I start with the island always, and then I go to the other half of the countertops after I do the dishes.
spit.
But while I am over here on this side, I am going to go ahead and wipe down underneath my appliances. So I'm going to move my microwave and get behind it and wipe it down. And also my toaster here in a second, just to make sure I get all the countertop wiped, because you would be surprised how much dust is collected behind your microwave. And while I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and do a quick wipe down on the front of it to get off any like splashes and dust or anything that's been caught on the appliances. And yes, obviously I have the baby bottles over here laying on the counter. I will come back later to wipe the countertop underneath them after I wash them. So don't panic and act like I'm forgetting to wipe it down, because I promise I will come back to it. Alright, so like I said earlier, I like to unload my dishwasher before I start washing, obviously, so I can move things over, but I will only unload it if my countertop is wiped down and sanitized. So I'm taking everything out right now, and as you'll notice, I organize it. So instead of just taking something out and putting it in its place, I organize them into piles on the counter, and then I walk to their designated areas. So I'm not constantly walking back and forth. It just seems like I have to make less trips. So it's quicker overall. So I always start with whatever is closest, which would be these drawers for the pots and pans. And please do not judge. I know my drawers severely need to be organized, and that is on my to-do list. But for today, we're just doing some deep cleaning, not worrying about organization. But like I said, I start over here, and then I'll go to the other side of the kitchen with the other things. So I am making less trips. Alright, and now it is time for honestly my least favorite part about cleaning, and that is doing the dishes, especially days like today where they got piled up so bad. I do not like them to get this piled up, obviously, one, because it's gross, but then two, just because it's so much to do, but it needs to be done. So we're going to go ahead and get this over with and tackle all the dishes. I'm also definitely one of those who I wash all my dishes with soap basically by hand, and then I still put them in the dishwasher to clean them a second time. And I guess, like, according to some of my friends, it's a little extra because I'm already hand washing everything. But leave a comment below if you're like me or if you think I'm totally crazy, because I basically wash them twice.
Times I've heard promises of romance, but there's something about you that makes me believe in another chance. Can't explain what I'm sensing. Every part of me trembling as I feel that you got through my defense. And I should know by now to always touch the ground, but how I forget. Enchanted by your face, I found my perfect place. So don't wake me up. Don't wake me up.
I will say, although I do hate doing regular dishes, I love cleaning baby bottles. I don't know why I find it so satisfying, but taking all the pieces apart and cleaning them, I don't know. I don't mind doing bottles, but regular dishes I hate. I don't know what the deal is.
Savoring every word, snowflakes upon my tongue. Take your hand in mine and our eyes feel the heat like the rising sun. As I swim in your ocean, I don't even look back to the shore. We embrace underwater and now I'm not drowning anymore.
I will say I am so glad I have this little grass thing for all of Everly's bottles. Like, at first I didn't really want to get it because I thought it was an eyesore on my countertop, but it is like the best thing ever for bottles and drying all of her little pieces, and I like that all of her things are organized by themselves and not mixed in with the rest of the dishes.
So mirror image, I don't care, in your arms I could stay here forever. And I should know by now to always touch the ground, but how I forget. Enchanted by your face, I found my perfect place. So don't wake me up. Don't wake me up.
And lastly, after I finish doing all the dishes, I want to make sure that I scrub out my sink so there's no food residue or anything left behind. And I will wipe down all the sides and get them all cleaned, just that way, you know, your stainless steel doesn't rust or anything.
I stay awake until the first glimmer of sun hits the horizon. I am afraid of the dark. No one to talk to, only my own thoughts to live with. My mind going to dark places. Merge up, as light as a feather. I wonder if I'll ever grace the sky with you forever, when it feels like we are clouds caught in heavy, stormy weather.
Alright, you guys, we got the hardest part done, so now we're going to move to the other side of the kitchen and get the stovetop and counters wiped down as well. I am using a special cleaner for my stovetop that is not the same as the countertop cleaner, but as you can tell, I'm putting some heavier pieces down on some food that got stuck on there, and that will help pull it all up. While I'm over here, I will make sure to wipe down the back of the oven as well as the face around all the knobs and everything, and the top of it to get all the dust. And like, you would be so surprised how many like splash marks there are from just like stuff sizzling and like your oil splattering, and just, it's crazy the amount of residue that gets on the back of your oven. And then same as the other appliances, I'm going to go ahead and wipe down the front. I will go back later and do the dishwasher because I didn't do it while I was over there. But I am going to go ahead and wipe down the face of the oven while I'm here. I will say I finally transitioned into using cloths for wiping countertops down. I used to use nothing but paper towels, and then I realized how much I was going through the paper towels, and it was honestly a waste because you couldn't go very far without them getting soaked, and I was just constantly going through the rolls. And so I started using washcloths, which they're actually some of Everly's. So she ended up getting like around 50 washcloths when we had her, I guess, semi-shower, like before she got here. Basically, we had so many, so I took a few of them and I drew black X's on the tags so we knew the difference between hers and mine. But they honestly have made the best little cleaning cloths because they're the perfect size and they absorb a lot. So I really enjoyed using those, and they last obviously way longer than paper towels do.
Delicate keepsakes. They are so few and far between, and I'm grateful for the memorability of each moment. Moments wrapped in romance that end with bitter sunrises and goodbyes. Moments so fragile and rare.
And the same thing that we did on the other side, I'm going to move like the knives and my recipe box here in a minute and just make sure I wipe down all the dust off of them, as well as around where they were sitting, so we can make sure this entire area is nice and clean.
That retreat into dormancy. I wonder, could we ever flow together, or are we two twin souls finding each other in the wrong lifetime? Welcome to the awakening.
And obviously, I know we finished the dishes a little bit ago, but my husband just got home and of course has already put a dirty dish in the sink. So I'm gonna have him come clean that one later. And like I said, now I'm going to go ahead and wipe down that dishwasher, get rid of all the streaks, which it's funny because like I'm not over here a whole lot and the streaks are just coming from water just dripping down, just like from when I'm moving dishes over or when I grab the handle, but it's so crazy how much shows on the stainless steel. Then we're going to go over here and move on to the fridge. Of course, I have to take down all these things. It's actually kind of funny. I kept my fridge basically bare until I had Everly, and now that I have her and I start collecting things that she has, you know, semi-made at daycare and stuff, like I fill the entire fridge up with her work. So it has gotten pretty cluttered, so I'm probably going to go through a couple of these and put away some things that are a bit older, and that way I can put new things on the fridge as they come.
It's in your eyes, you're looking so confused. You realize you'll never hide it from me. They're so telling, yeah, they just say it all. Your eyes, your eyes, your eyes. And I won't stand in your way. stand in your way.
Next thing we're going to do is clean the cabinets and just kind of wipe them down. I do use a Clorox wipe right now just because, like, for sanitizing purposes, especially right here. This particular door is to our trash can, so it is the dirtiest, and I always make sure to wipe down the inside because you would be surprised how many things splatter on the back of this door. It is actually quite disgusting, but I do use a Clorox wipe on all of our doors and drawers just to make sure everything is perfectly cleaned and sanitized. Surprisingly, I can usually get away with using just one Clorox wipe as long as, like, I've done this routinely. If there happens to be like a bigger mess, then I may have to use 2 or 3, but these are already pretty clean because I wiped them down not too long ago. So luckily I get through the entire cabinets with only using one wipe. So then too, I'm just going to move this over so I can make sure that I clean under this area because I didn't do it earlier. Normally, if I have other dishes on here, this is the point where I just hand dry to get them put away. But since it's her bottles, I'm going to go ahead and leave them on the little grassy thing and just scoot it to the side so I can clean underneath it. Cleaning the fridge, I completely forgot to put the things back on it, so I'm going to move a few things over, but I take most of it into my office so I can organize it later and put it away for keepsakes. I obviously had to keep this cute little astronaut that they made. I honestly can't even remember what it was for. It may have been like for the letter A or something, but They took a picture of Everly and cut out her face and put her in a little astronaut uniform. It's just the cutest thing. So I had to keep that on the fridge.
I like the way you touch the flow when you drop it.
Alright, and we are narrowing down the last few things, which should be vacuuming and mopping. I will say vacuuming is probably my most favorite household chore to do. It is just so satisfying to me to see like dirt or something on the floor and getting to vacuum it up and make the floor entirely clean. So this is definitely hands down my favorite part. And today for mopping, I'm just going to kind of do a light one using my Swiffer Wet Jet. I do have an actual mop, but since I'm only doing the kitchen today, I plan on doing the rest of my house tomorrow, and whenever I mop, I like to do the entire house and not one room at a time. So I'm just doing a light clean right now to get maybe some of those spots like cleaned up, maybe from like food or like Harley's paw prints or something in here, and then tomorrow I'm actually going to go through the entire house with a mop.
So pure.
And there you have it, you guys. We now have a nice, fresh, clean kitchen. It feels so much better in here, and like I said, it just makes your whole house feel so much better. The kitchen is definitely the heart of our house, and having it clean just makes your life feel like it's in order, honestly. But everything just has a nice shine to it. Feels so clean. It smells so great in here. But I am so glad we got through this today, and thank you for joining me.
Alright, you guys, thank you so much for joining me for my first cleaning video. I'm so excited to post this, and I hope you found something useful in this video, or in the least motivating, or literally if it's just something to turn on, totally cool. But make sure to hit the thumbs up button on this video if you liked it and want to see more of these in the future. And I post videos every Sunday, so I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!